So, welcome everybody. Lovely to see you all. Everything that appears to you is an appearance. Whatever thought appears to you and whatever it refers to is an appearance. Like the sound of traffic, like the warmth, the sensation of warmth of the body. There is no separate anything, anyone in the entire cosmos. The thought that refers to a separate me is just an appearance, like the heartbeat, like the sensation of your feet on the ground. An image appears to you. This image may say, may be interpreted as I am somebody. What is it that is interpreting this image or this sensation as it is me? What is it that says, yes, I am this or I am that? Is it not you? who says, yes, I am this or I am that. It is you who says, I'm a man, a woman, a person. You as awareness, consciousness. You as the only you that there is, a reality that perceives right now. It is that very reality that you are, the only reality that is, that says, I am a separate, limited person, and I am a body, I'm born. While it knows all along that that's not true, because you are not born, you're never born. Because there is no beginning or ending to consciousness. It is out of your very freedom as consciousness, which is the only freedom there is, that you choose to enter into the cocoon, into the cave, the cocoon of personhood. It is out of your absolute freedom that you being this borderless reality, this aware presence, it is out of your freedom that you refer to yourself as somebody who is existing in time and space. So it is out of your freedom that you identify yourself with the body, to identify yourself meaning the only self there is, which is consciousness, presence, being. You refer to yourself as a mother, a father. And you play the game of imagining and believing that there is no other way but to be identified as somebody. There is no one who is convincing you of that. It is your own freedom. Sometimes you refer to yourself as a good person, nice person, and another day maybe not so nice. But it's all a falsehood, because you are not the person that you imagine and that you feel yourself to be. Any identification is a form of limitation. Particularly when you are believing the identity that you are choosing. It makes perfect sense for the body to be a father or a mother when there are children to be cared for. But this does not mean that you are a mother or a father. When the body is a male or female body, consciousness does not become male or female with the body. So there is an understanding about yourself, an understanding about consciousness. And it is this understanding that liberates you from the bondage of identification. The activities of the body, the activities of the mind, thoughts, memories, perceptions. They do not disturb consciousness. Like images on the screen or ripples on the surface of the pond. They do not disturb the screen, and the ripples do not disturb the pond. Rather than looking for yourself downstream, look upstream. your true self, your true nature, is this transparent, unshakable reality, and the peace of being. So, any questions? Please make sure to unmute your mic. Any questions? Hello, Holger.
Hello, Magdi. Thank you for this meditation. Can you speak about resting during the day in general? I mean, just on a practical level, how this, because sometimes I feel when I'm by myself, I like to nap once in a while and I'm in a nice rhythm. But when I'm together with other people, I'm usually more in the doing mode, and I don't know how to express myself, but sometimes I feel I'm naturally drawn to rest, but then sometimes the circumstances don't allow it, and it's just a topic that comes up again and again in my life. And I sound very foolish right now, but it's just something that came to my mind.
So, in resting, there is a resting of the body. So, maybe lie down, rest the body, and there is the resting of the mind. Often we rest the body, but we don't rest the mind. We find that there's just thinking going on, and a certain thought and another thought, and then this memory and whatever. So in resting, you have to sort of do both. Rest the body, of course, just by lying down. Then the bed is a resting place. There is no need for you to move the body, and then you have to also rest the mind. So you have to go invite the mind to rest. In other words, you go to be beyond the mind, behind the mind, below the mind, the ground of the mind. There is a ground of the mind, which is the ground of being, which is the resting of the mind. So the mind is an activity, the activities of thoughts, images, and blah blah. So you have to sort of invite yourself to go to that place of non-movement of the mind. So it's a little bit difficult when, for example, you have some work issues on your mind, for example, in some cases, or some particular concern, or something that is sort of activating the mind. Then you need to come to some kind of understanding within yourself that, okay, is there anything to do now? If there's something you need to do now, then it's not the right time for you to rest. Just get up and send that email, or complete what you may need to complete. And it may be very involved, and then you will skip the rest for now, because then the mind will get engaged in the activity that is important to be done. But if you say, okay, well, no, I can do that later, I can pick it up later, then you need to sort of honor your interest in resting. You say, I have to tell yourself, okay, look, I understand there are some issues, work issues or other work issues, but I've decided to rest. I will pick it. It will pick itself up. It will pick up whenever it will pick up later. I have to sort of trust that the universe is going to bring back those issues, those activities that you need to tend to after the rest. So you can't just try to remember. You need to remember that, oh, okay, I need to do that, so because then that memory is going to create, some mind activity. You have to sort of let it go, trusting that the universe is going to bring it back up at the right time after the rest, so that you can really rest. So in a way, it's this conversation with yourself that, yes, okay, yes, I have looked at it, and I can let it go for now. I'll pick it up later. Then you can go to the ground of being, where the mind can rest. So there is the resting of the body and the mind in that way is the close an approximation of our natural state. So resting, this sort of resting, especially the resting of the mind, is an approximation of our natural state. I'm saying it's an approximation because the ignorance is not dead. It's doing the siesta. By ignorance, I mean the belief that I'm a person is, for now, doing the siesta. I'm not equating the siesta of the body. Let's say that, let me put it another way, the identification for that moment is not active, but it's not dead, right? So that's why I say it's an approximation. In the well, that's good enough. And
thank you.
It's possible in your daily activity to also tap into to tap into that restfulness.
Yes.
Even though it may affect your work for a minute or two, it's okay. In time, you will find that the restfulness of the mind, that restfulness of the peace of being is not disturbed by the activities of it's a sort of merge, you know. It's as if there is activity, but it's not. There are no problems. There aren't like issues. There may be practical issues, but not psychological issues. Some difficult situation that require a lot of focus, a lot of attention, but not psychologically. Psychologically, all is well. You're not even paying attention that all is well, but it's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good question about resting. It's a good question. We notice when you go to bed at night, notice how, yes, you rest the body, but notice how oftentimes the mind you're not inviting the mind to rest. In some cases, it's very acute. The incapacity to relax and to sort of sink into the cosmos, dissolve in the cosmos.
Yeah. Thank you, Magdi. I'm speechless. I mean, but in a good sense.
So equanimity is an attribute of consciousness. It's,
You said one word really clicked with me. You said to honor the rest. And this is beautiful. I mean, there's some dignity, something that the busy mind cannot reach in a way.
mm-hmm. Any questions?
Hey, Magdi, Frank here.
Hey, Frank.
Hey, I don't have a question. I just wanted to just put this out. And first, I just want to express my gratitude to you and give you a specific thing that I got out of one of our sessions here that just it's been helping me. It's like a gift that keeps on giving. And what that is, and I think this goes back months. It was months ago when we had a conversation on here, and I was trying to figure out, kind of work this whole thing out like a math problem, where I would bring in non-duality into a certain problem that I would be having or whatever. And I don't know what words you used, but you made me see that I was bringing a problem to a non-existent self. So, so it really cleared things up for me that anytime there's anything like that going on and I'm trying to fit it into this body, mind, self to see how I can work it out, I'm going right to the source and getting the idea out that there's this separate person that needs to work something out.
Yes.
And I just sense, every time I do that, there's a sense of relaxation. Like,
yes. Oh,
I'm going to the root of the problem. And it's just, I just wanted to let you know that that's the effect it had on me when we had that conversation. It's been my life. I think my life's changed since, not 100%, but it's changed a lot since that conversation that we had. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah, great.
Because I think you said to me something like, well, it was the way you brought it to me. You said, well, because I said there's no person. You said, well, there is a person, because I was making it sound like there was a person. So yeah, if there's a person, yeah, there's something that's got to be done to help that person. But that's the premise that I'm starting out with. So of course, yeah. Yes. So if I take that premise out, I start out with a different premise, then there's nothing there to fix.
Yes, because obviously there is a body with certain needs and certain requirements. So we take care of the body, we take care of the house, we take care of the car, we take care of our bank account, we take care of our family, whatever. So there are these aspects of our life that we take care of them, whichever. I mean, we don't know ahead of time, but every situation presents itself in a way that calls our attention to, okay, I need to put some more air in the tire, or I need to fill up the gas tank, or I need to go shopping. But in all of that, there isn't a me. There isn't an assumed self. There is just life. There's just life. And so right now, life is this conversation, the satsang, this meeting, listening and asking question or whatever, or just being quiet, being silent. And so whenever you are referring to life, to the universe as a personal being, in that I am somebody. We are adding a certain model, which is not necessary. In other words, you don't need to be identified with the body in order to take care of the body. You don't need to be identified with the car in order to take care of the car. So yes, then life is sort of a flow. It's a flow, but it's missing the fear, the sense of lack, the worry and the concern. And in life, we do our best, I mean, sometimes the gas station is right on the corner. Sometimes you have to drive 15 minutes to get to the gas station, depending on how the universe is displaying itself,
Yeah. Thanks, Magdi. I mean, I really am so thankful for that. Yeah, there's no sense of nihilism at all. There's no sense that I'm doing away with anything when I do that. It's just, like you said, I still have a body to take care of. But when the mind starts going, like you and Holger were talking about the mind, when I get up in the morning, my mind's usually going 100 miles an hour, but it doesn't bother me anymore because it's like, I just know it's almost like I imagine myself being a car I'm an idling car in the middle of traffic. I just let it be.
Yes.
Nothing to worry about.
Yes. In some teachings, they talk about eliminating the mind or annihilating the mind or something like that. But that's incorrect. There is no issue. Mind means thoughts, creative thoughts, practical thoughts, or what I need to do. What do I need to do in order to have dinner ready tonight? What do I need to do in order to take care of my children, my family? And these are like all practical thoughts. Say, oh, okay, today I need to do this, I need to do that. So it's not about the annihilating of the mind at all. No, if the mind was a problem, it wouldn't be on board. It wouldn't be on board. God doesn't make a mistake, you know. It's not like, oh, God created thought, therefore he made a mistake. And some people say, oh, well, if it's true, then why did God create ignorance? They say, oh, why did God create ignorance? If God doesn't make any mistake. I'm going to mute you just for a minute, Frank. Okay, I think, oh yeah, because there was an interference. So if you want to talk, you need to unmute yourself. So then some people say, well, then why did God, if God doesn't make mistakes, then how did God create the sense of separation? You say, oh, you see, here it is. You're wrong. God made a mistake. But when you take a look at the sense of separation, you take a look at what is the sense of separation? I mean, you look at it, take a look at it right now. What is the sense of separation? It's not there. There is no such a thing as a sense of separation. I know if some people may hear that and say, oh my God, that's crazy. But take a close look. In order to find a sense of separation, you have to imagine it. You have to go to the past and say, oh, well, wait a minute. Yesterday, I was happier than now. So what are you talking about, Magdi? Of course, I'm unhappy. I'm less happy now. So there is some sort of separation or whatever. You have to go look for it. And you imagine it, you create the sense of separation in the moment. In this moment, there is no sense of separation. You create it. But anything that you create is God's creation. You create it, and as you create it, you perceive it and dissolve it. Like these very words right now, they're created. As you hear them, they're gone. As you are perceiving them, they're gone. In fact, you can't even say I perceive them, because what did you perceive? What did you perceive? Then you make a narrative. Oh, I perceived this and that and that and that. It's just a narrative. But in the moment, in this moment, it's just being. It's just pure being. It's God's being. Takes on the form of this perception, takes on the form of a sensation, takes on the form of a thought. It's God's being. We take a close look, but we don't take a close look. We always go to our narrative. We go to our story. We go to the story. Oh, what about this and that and that and this and tomorrow and yesterday and this and that, and I read this in this book and I read that in that book and I was feeling like this, now I'm feeling like that, and how come now I'm feeling like that, and yesterday I was feeling like this. How am I going to feel tomorrow? Am I going to feel like this or like that? Why? Because we play, because we like to play this game. Nobody's saying, okay, let's play the game of this and that and yesterday and tomorrow. No, nobody's saying, you have to play this game or else. No. We're playing this game because we like the game. We like the game of becoming. I was, I am, I will be. I'm becoming. We play, I'm becoming better, or what's worse, I'm becoming better. And then at some point, there is a spark, you know, you ask, wait a minute, maybe I don't like this game. It's really up to you. I mean, it's complete freedom. But if you realize, yeah, I don't like this game, then you don't need to play it. I mean, you could, but I'm saying you don't need to. It's not like you must play this game. You could. So, well, no, I don't like this game. I don't like the game of being somebody. Being somebody means being somebody limited, meaning being somebody who's born and who's going to die. Who likes the notion of I'm going to die? I don't think we really like it. I don't think so. So then we don't need to play the game. I am going to die. Well, then you say, well, the body's going to die. You say, okay, fine, the body's going to die. Well, does that mean I'm going to die? Yes, it means I'm going to die. Well, why? Why does it mean I'm going to die? Because I'm identified with the body. Well, but then you say, well, I'm identified with the body for a good reason. Well, what's a good reason? The good reason is that I feel I'm the body. Well, if you feel you're the body, does it mean you're the body? If you feel you're an angel, or you feel you're a Capricorn, you're a unicorn, if you feel you're a dragon, if you feel you're a fairy, and let's say you really, really, really feel you're I'm a fairy. Does it mean you're a fairy? Well, but I feel it every day. Okay, well, what if you feel every day that you're a fairy? I mean, it could happen. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure for some cases, everything's possible. Just because you're feeling something every day doesn't mean that you are that. In fact, it's a story that you're feeling something every day because you don't experience the past and you don't experience the future. You're always experiencing now. So when you say, I'm feeling this every day, you're talking about time. You're talking about linear time. You've adopted a model, but you don't realize it. You adopted a model. I exist in time. You started with the premise. I exist in time. I'm born. I exist in time. So therefore, you're playing that game. You're playing the game of linear time, and that you exist in linear time. But that's not your experience. Your experience is not that you exist in time. Your experience is presence, being. That's your true experience right now. Take a look. Time appears to you as a thought, as a memory, as an image, right? In fact, you don't really experience yourself in time. How can you experience yourself in time? Do you see yourself in time? You look and you're seeing a big clock, big clock, and you see yourself walking. Do you see that? We don't. Nobody sees that. You say, well, I am the body because I perceive the body. It's true, you perceive the body. You perceive bodily sensations. You perceive bodily images. You look at your hand, you say, well, that's the body. It's true. Let's say that you live by a lake and you're in one room. One room is a big glass, and all you see all the time is the lake. Every time you open your eyes, the lake. You look to the right, there's a lake, it's all glass. It's a glass room, and there's a lake. You see the lake all the time. Does it mean you are the lake? You see the body. Does it mean you're the body? Plus, it's not true that you perceive the body all the time. In fact, in deep sleep, you don't see the body. Between two perceptions, you don't see the body. Anyways, I'm rambling. I forgot what we were talking about.
That's really good. Thank you, Magdi. Appreciate it so much.
Okay.
Back soon. Okay, bye.
Hi, Magdi.
Yes.
It's Chris.
Yes.
Thank you for this time. I have a question that just bubbled up, a very simple one, but it's deep for me, because I think it feeds into, I got very clear while you were speaking that part of the suffering that I experience is the thoughts around even some of this teaching, where I'll experience an unpleasant feeling, and then I'll notice that I'm having thoughts about how, oh, I can get out of this feeling because I know that I'm awareness and I can let go. And then somehow that's not working. And it just came clear to me, I think what I'm doing is I'm mistaking the thoughts for the actual experience of being.
Yes.
And it's so subtle. I'm noticing it's so subtle.
Yes.
So even now, these feelings around suffering or feelings of unpleasant feelings are like a story attached to them.
Yes.
So I just wanted to share that to help me to see it. And then I also, on the question that I have is around doing what I like versus doing what I don't like. Because if you would speak to that, because I'm leaning into this trust of, can I really trust to really follow my enthusiasm, to really do the things that I like? Because there's a little story in there that, oh, well, little Chris has to do this thing he doesn't like because little Chris doesn't exist and he has to, or something like that. It just gets more thoughts on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to hear your,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if you would just speak around likes versus dislikes,
Yes.
and taking action in the world.
First, I just want to say something about feelings, that if you take a look at feelings, you're experientially, you experience a sensation. Let's say you're feeling sad, let's say, okay? You're experiencing a bodily sensation. Maybe it's in the throat or in the face and the heart, maybe, I don't know. And there are thoughts saying, I'm sad because of blah, 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 whatever, So it's, in fact, a feeling is bodily sensation and thought. And the thought usually has a me in it. It has a belief that, oh, I'm somebody, I'm Chris, etc. Now, consider that a sensation is neutral. It's an appearance, and so is the thought. In the whole experience of feeling is the belief. There is a belief that I am Chris, I am somebody, I'm a person. That we need to take a look at. Don't worry so much about feelings. Feelings are fine. I mean, don't get into the business of trying to fix feelings or repair feelings. But I'm saying feeling is, who cares? A feeling, a thought, a hunger, everything is happening in the universe. I mean, there are volcanic eruptions, there are supernovas. So, feeling, big deal. But the understanding about the identification, I am the belief that I am somebody. I am Chris. That's what we need to sort of say. Interesting here. Interesting. I'm Chris. I'm Chris. I'm going Chris. I'm this Chris. I'm cute Chris. I'm smart. Whatever. That is this so-called innocent, a little innocent, playful me, Magdi, blah blah blah. I've been this Magdi forever. It's cute. I can speak this way, play that way. It's this cutesy aspect of this identification, while in fact it's consciousness being now sunk down, limited, reduced to a person, to something of somebody, which is a limitation, right? So that's the thing about feelings. Now, in terms of like doing what you like. There's a difference between I want to do what I like, whatever I like, I like to do. My freedom is to do whatever I want as a person. Do whatever I want as a person. It's not a real freedom. Because if you're a person, how can you be free as a person? As a person, you already are identified. You see, you're identified. So we have to go to before the pre-belief, before you believe yourself to be a person. You are the freedom that's choosing to believe I'm a person. First, you have to realize that you are the freedom. You, consciousness, is complete freedom. Why? Because there's no other reality. I'm not talking about your personal mind or my personal mind. I'm talking about the reality which perceives, reality which is, the reality which knows it is, I am. There's no I am not. Like, being is. There is no non-being. It's absolute. That being, the isness of being, undeniable isness of being, because there is awareness. There is something rather than nothing. That is undeniable. Has no opposite. It's not like, oh, well, there is being and there's also non-being. So given that being is absolute, means it's complete freedom. There isn't there isn't the red camp and the blue camp, or the white camp and the red camp, or the black camp. There isn't. It's just one camp. It's, as a way of speaking. It's only one reality. Given there's one reality, it's complete absolute freedom. You have to really get that, get the meaning of that. It's the reality of that, the truth of that. So that you don't waver. You don't waver around that. There is no wavering around the absolute reality of consciousness.
So if I could say, the wavering happens when actions in life come to a point where I feel like I'm being challenged by circumstances in life, which I'm sure is common amongst many people, around money or other things, where, Absolutely. I snap out of the, whoa, like this is the reality here. Now it's the bills time, or whatever else, right?
Yeah, it's the play. It's the play of consciousness. You see, consciousness at rest is not trying to do anything. It is the awareness, consciousness, being is. You can go there. You can go there to being, and realize that being has nothing it needs to do, but yet it plays the game of Magdi, Chris, my mother, my children, the house, the job, yes, it's playing the game. So it's like the ocean is waving. It waves. On the surface, the activities of water are waves. But water is not moving. There's no movement. The movement refers to the play of water. That's what we say. So for the ocean, or for the screen, for consciousness, there is nothing at stake. This does not mean there is no activity. This does not mean there is no play. This does not mean there is no, gee, I applied for this job, I didn't get it. My neighbor got it. I applied for the raise, I didn't get it. No, this is part of the play, part of the game. But the key thing is that there is, to understand, there is nothing at stake for you. But you say, well, there is something at stake for the body. Yes, of course. The body needs income, food, shelter, and clothing, right? Food, shelter, and clothing. So food, shelter, and clothing are part of the universal manifestation. They're in the universe. For the human experience, we have an atmosphere where we can breathe. There's gravity. We don't zoom out in space and disintegrate into a billion particles, right? Who's providing that? It's there. It's being provided by the universal cosmic order. And that cosmic order of the planet that has atmosphere, has gravity, has the oceans, it has fruits and spices and all sorts of heck. I mean, we eat tomatoes. You eat tomatoes? You know, like you take this red, it's this plant, you know, you walk in the forest, you find something red, you know, what the heck is that? You know, you take a bite and it's tastes good. It nourishes you. I mean, look at the abundance that there is, you know, in for the human experience. It's infinite abundance. So it's all there, right? We didn't invent the seed, the acorn, we didn't invent anything, right? We didn't invent rice. No, we came upon it. Somehow things, the universe, put it together. And then one day, some people were planting rice and they were eating rice, they were boiling it and putting some other things on it, grinding some, you know, spices and having spiced rice, you know, and they were boiling some weeds, you know, they were, you know, bok choy or whatever, and having rice with bok choy, you know. So what I'm, you know, so for the worldwide, for the food, shelter and clothing aspect of life doesn't require fear. It doesn't require worry and concern, and it requires understanding. So the understanding that there is a cosmic order, and that the body and the universe and the air and the gravity and the earth and the trees and the sunshine are one. Consciousness is I. Wow. Oh, now we're coming to the sweetness, the sweetness of awareness, of consciousness. That there is consciousness. That is the big mama, you know, it's consciousness. Wow, I'm conscious, aware, perceive, I am. Okay, so what do I do about the job? Let me see, I apply for it. Why? I like it. So I enjoy it, right? I follow my enthusiasm. Something within me says, yeah, it would be nice to learn you know, this new job and apply for it. So you do, you know, you see if you can, you know, if it's possible, you may be able to do it right away, or it may take you 2 years of, you know, of aspiring towards it slowly. Then you find that, okay, you know, it's unfolding. You know, it's unfolding. But you are coming from a place of joy, of freedom, of celebration. Francis often talks about impersonal desires are the desires that get fulfilled. The personal desires they're never fulfilled because there is no person. If you really want disappointment, then go the personal desire way, okay? Because you start with imagining yourself to be a person, and then downstream from the imagination is all imagination. When you imagine, you know, Santa Claus, then you can imagine, you know, all the things that you need to do to make Santa Claus happy. You're gonna whatever, you know, get new reindeer for Santa Claus, whatever you're gonna do. But it's all imagination. You start from the right premise. There's only one right premise, which is consciousness. I is consciousness. And the I, which is consciousness, is not a different consciousness from the one in California and the one in Zimbabwe, different. No, it's one consciousness, one reality. So in terms of, you know, doing what you like, there is a practical aspect, you see. And the practical aspect is just available to you, not via your emotions. via the situation, via the, if you live in San Francisco, you know, 500 square foot apartment is $3,500, right? If you live, I don't know, maybe upstate New York, no, you have a 4-bedroom house for $1,500. So there is a situation that's available to you. There are no mistakes. No mistakes. It's very important, no mistakes. Where you are is perfect, just where you need to be. Right? So then you look at the situation and you live from the freedom, from the wisdom, from the intelligence. You keep inviting yourself to return to your understanding. All is well. Life is appearing as this appearance, and it's also appearing as my thoughts. It's not my beliefs about me. My thoughts appear to you. They appear to you, quite often. About, I like to do this. I should do that. Or did I call him? Oh, I didn't reply to that email. Let me reply to it after satsang, blah, blah. All of these appears to you. It's a flow. So you are the flow, you're living the flow. And the love. The love is very important. You're living the love. Mm. And so love is sort of a certain openness to everything and everybody. But there's intelligence, because you know when to close your door. If you live in Manhattan, you're not going to leave your door open. At night, you lock it, But if you live in a farm somewhere, you won't go in and out of your house. You never close the door, you say. So there's intelligence. You don't need to really figure it out. It all comes to you, I say. In fact, you don't need to figure out anything. It all comes to you. It all comes to you. Mm. Thoughts come to you. Your perceptions come to you.
I think the challenge that I'm seeing, thank you, this is very helpful. And the challenge I'm seeing is subtly, I'm having expectations as to how that should be happening. But and that's causing me some suffering. So you're clearing that up for me, like, oh, I'm subtly thinking it should be different than the way it is.
Yes. Yeah, you may have like you would like things to go in a certain direction. I'd like for it to work out. I like my startup company to really grow. So that's okay, because it motivates you, and then you think, oh, well, wait a minute, maybe if I hire this guy and he can be helpful in my company, so because then you can make your company grow, you see. But you remain open to how things unfold. If you find the door is closing, you say, oh, okay, let me see. So now I'm in front of a closed door, I cannot break in, so I turn around to the side, to the right, to the left, I turn around and say, oh, wait a minute, maybe I'll try this, or I'll try that. So yes, there can be expectations, but they're held lightly. They're part of the dynamic, but not that there is something at stake. I say that if I don't realize this, something bad is going to happen to me, or to my family, or to my life, or to my future. Because it's already a done deal. You're already that which you seek. You're already the freedom, the joy, and the peace of being. Is a done deal. Mission accomplished from the start. Mission accomplished. So then life can be a sort of playground. We don't know. Nobody has a crystal ball. We don't need to. If we had a crystal ball, it would just be like robots. We know next is this, next is that, next is that. No. So this is part of the excitement of life, that we don't know.
Thank you, Magdi.
Yeah. Please.
Hi, Magdi.
Hello, Holly.
Hi.
Hey.
So I have a decision I have to make, and I'll give you just a little bit of context for that. But the take-home message is that I'm kind of stressed out about it, and it's no fun. So every year, well, so you know, I used to do a different kind of jewelry, and about 5 years ago, I switched to doing the kind I do now, which is fine jewelry, the rings and enamel work and that sort of thing. So when I used to do the old style of jewelry, I would go around to tango festivals and sell my jewelry. And I mostly stopped doing that when I switched to the new kind of jewelry. But every fall, I still went to the Albuquerque Tango Festival, where my parents live, and did the old style of jewelry. And every year for the last couple of years, at least, it's been a big decision in the fall. Should I go and do it this year? And in this year, I have a new position. I'm at an enamelist gallery at the Torpedo Factory. And it seems like they're probably going to have a bigger Christmas rush than what I usually experience. Mm-hmm. So but I don't really know, because I'm new there, so I don't know exactly what that means. So I'm trying to make this decision. I have to tell the gallery by tomorrow if I want the time off, and I've been thinking about it, going back and forth and back and forth, and
yeah.
It's hard because it's very equal on both sides, and
sorry, because I don't know the dollars and cents of you going to Albuquerque, and of course we don't know the dollars and cents of the Christmas rush in Virginia.
Yeah. Well, just to say one thing, like I always do fine at the Albuquerque show. Yes. So money, again, it's kind of a wash, because I would make some money, but then it would be taking time away from making the other kind of stock and that sort of thing. So part of me feels like I need to be building momentum in the new direction. And so,
yes.
Anyway, like this sort of
right.
thing.
Yes. So if it's a wash, that's a good piece of information, that basically, you do good, but at the same time you're taking time away from being able to sort of build your inventory and create, so it's a good piece of information. And also, like, if you're feeling some excitement, new direction, that's something, if it feels like it's some sort of, it's an opening, that means it's not insignificant. It's something to take a look at. And although you don't know exactly how it's going to unfold during the coming holidays, you prepare yourself the best you can, right? You prepare yourself. You want to be in a position where you have the pieces on display that you would like, that would be hopefully successful with the clients. So. As long as you are not two things. First, you have to be okay with either decision. If I go this way, I go that way. You have to be okay. Be free from, this Should have been this and not that. And so that there isn't a worry, a concern, a fear, and some sort of negative emotion. And the other thing is to sort of look at your, this new direction that you're going in. How exciting is it for you? Do you feel that it's a happy thing for you? You're excited about it. You're really looking forward to create those new pieces. So that's a good thing, because arts and it's creativity. So if it feeds your creativity and it excites your creativity, and you feel that, okay, you don't want to crowd yourself, you want to really go in that direction, yeah, then you need to take that in consideration. But the key thing is that whichever way you go, they're equal to you at a deep level. That it's okay if I went that way. That's okay if I went the other way. It's okay. I'm always going one way, not to whichever way. If it's Albuquerque, okay, or if it's at the torpedo factory, then it's that. Just one way. And because you need to make a decision, very soon, and you really are still sort of undecided, then it's a perfect situation for you to do eeny, meeny, miny, mo. If they're equal and you have to make a decision. Now, if they're not equal, if you feel more excitement about the new direction your artwork is taking, then you go that way. Or if you feel that I can still go to Albuquerque and still I'll have enough time, I will make the time for both Albuquerque and the torpedo factory. So depends on the balance, Right?
Yeah. So, I'll just say one more detail, even though I know the point is not really the story, but more kind of this torture that I'm putting myself through here, which is that I like going to the Albuquerque Tango Festival because I like dancing and I like New Mexico.
Yes.
But on the flip side, I am more excited about the new work that I'm doing now. So that's, again, it's kind of like there is a type of excitement to both. Yeah.
Right. I get it.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So, right. So, I know you love the tango. I actually was thinking about that now. There is even.
Yeah.
There's excitement on both sides. Well, in the end, it feels like they're both so.
I almost feel like the point for me maybe is just that they're so equally compelling. Yeah. And so I'm in this position where,
Then either decision you make, just don't do any regret. Just that's what it was. That's it. There was no other decision available to you. Whatever decision you make is the one and only decision, given the way you describe it. Good luck with that.
Okay.
But no regret.
Yeah.
Look at the excitement of dancing, or look at all the time you had to create the piece.
Okay. Is there anything you can give me like on a deeper? I know you are. I know, but on like a deeper level for like why I'm getting so tense over it, and how I can use it for my. I know it's being given to me, obviously, as a gift. So how can I use it in that way?
You just you just like what you like to play the game that you're playing.
Apparently, because I play it quite regularly, you know, indecision seems to be.
It can't be that bad, you know. I see you smiling. So
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And in a way, it's innocent.
Yeah, right.
Because you don't seem to be tortured, you know. So you play it because you like to play it, you know.
Yeah, okay.
Chloe is like that. My daughter Chloe is like that. She just likes to. It's part of her dynamic of should this and that, this, or maybe this and that.
Yeah.
I used to tell her, "Come on, make a decision. Any decision. Let's go."
Yeah. I mean, maybe the deadline isn't so bad. I can finally.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
All is well.
Okay.
No problems. There are no problems. No problems in this situation.
Okay.
Life is playful, and I would say that because artists are creative and you're a creative person, I have a slight leaning towards the creative side.
Right.
Not so much I know that you enjoy, you know, the dance. I know.
Yeah.
That's just my little 2 cents. But
okay,
again, I'm not an artist, so
I'll put that on the scale.
Yeah, just a teeny tiny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you all. Very lovely to be with you, Holger and Nathan, Holly, Frank, and Chris. Hello, Marga, Rahul. Hola, Isaac, and my sweetie Taha. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Magdi.
Thanks, Magdi.